Welcome and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Edu with Professor Chris. What a great semester has been so far. Once again, I am the author of Getting the Most Out of Your College Experience, and I really hope you're getting a copy of this book. I am your host, Professor Chris, and we're back to Let's Talk Ed with Professor Chris. What is our discussion for today? Our discussion for today, of course, is going to be about AI, and I think we're going to be talking about AI for quite a long time. But the reason I wanted to have this discussion again, and I want to actually tackle these AI topics as they come. So recently, I tuned into NPR, one of my favorite stations that I listen to all the time. And the topic actually was, do we need colleges? Do we need schools with AI? I guess with AI, why do we need colleges? So I want to do something real quick. If you're watching right now, I want you to close your eyes for a second. Imagine you are graduating. That means you're actually walking the stage to get your diploma. You're walking the stage, you're shaking the hands, you're coming right to the president, you shake his hand, and you're walking up the stage. However, the diploma that you're receiving, and it could be in whatever degree you pursued in college, engineering, business, psychology, education, you name it. But as you walk up the stage, you just remembered you are actually getting this degree all based on AI. You use AI the whole time while you were in college 4 or 5 years, and now you're walking up the stage with that diploma. How does that feel? Obviously, no one has done that yet, okay? So maybe there is a thought process going into this here, but I want you to think about this for a second. You walking up the stage with a diploma in hand, all 4 years, getting tutored or having gone through your whole education career with just AI. The topic actually for today is going to be my college degree with AI, the AI dilemma, challenges students face when solely relying on artificial intelligence, AI. Let's start with the temptation of AI. I get it. Everybody knows about AI right now, and probably one of the biggest challenges, everybody's doing it. It saves a lot of time, and you want to gain that advantage. So we're all into AI, and the temptation is pretty high, and everybody's doing it. So why stay behind? You want to get a good grades, of course. So we're using AI. All right. So that's the big temptation. With that temptation, also, I don't know of any institution right now that is not discussing AI as to how to incorporate AI into the current education system. So of course, in the process of doing that, we're going to be talking about academic integrity and ethical concerns. What do you think are going to be the concerns that some of these colleges are going to have? Where do we draw the line? Plagiarism is still a thing, by the way. Plagiarism is still a thing, and either institutions decide that you reference AI as a source is also being discussed, right? Do you reference AI as a source? I would think so. So this is part of the discussion that most institutions are having. So I'm going to leave academic integrity for the institutions as they're dealing with that. And now you have to deal with university policies and the usage of AI. So we have clear information as to what you can do and what you cannot do, and possibly the potential of a disciplinary action. If your school says no AI, or they set all these regulations on when and how to use it, and you use it, what's going to be the penalty? Okay. My focus, and the reason I kind of wanted to do this, and also to kind of add to the discussion on NPR, is actually about the learning deficit. When I first heard the discussion on NPR, so far as do we need colleges where AI is going? People have already saying, hey, I'm learning all this stuff using AI. The first thing that came to mind was we have to really differentiate between learning and applied learning. And this is what I mean by that. I'm sure most of you know what CPR is and know what a process is for a CPR. Right? So that is learning. We learn, we know how things should happen, what stages they should take, what form they should take. The challenge comes to when you actually have to apply what you've learned. When it actually happens and you have to perform a CPR. That's the way I look at it. I'll give you another example. Do we all know how to jumpstart a car? Most of us do. Red to red, black to black. And we play this in our heads over and over and over and over again. In my case, thousands, hundreds of times in my head, until that day when it actually happened. Red to red, black to black, not sure what I was doing, until I almost caught up on fire and I seen flames everywhere, and I kept thinking, this is a simple process. Red to red, black to black. The difference, however, is learning versus applied learning. And that is what I actually want to focus on today so far as AI goes. AI is going to be doing a lot of the thinking for you. So what happens with that? Your understanding is going to be very shallow. And what else happens? You miss all the critical skills and problem solving. Again, the CPR and jumpstarting the car. Learning versus applied learning. What is going to be the long-term effect? As I mentioned, you're walking off that stage with a diploma in hand for whatever degree you're getting, but now it's time, or you're asking yourself the question, can this be applied? How much of the applied learning have I done? And that is where, unfortunately, our reliance on AI is going to limit us with that applied learning opportunity. Now, let's say you actually get hired to start working for a company. Now there's the next step. Now you're getting into industry. Even now, I remember with all the knowledge and all the applied skills that I had when I was in grad school, when I got into, and I think it still happens across the board now, with industry still giving you some basic skills in addition to what you've already learned. Or you hear students say, oh wow, this is completely different from what I learned. What is not different, however, is that the fundamentals or that applied learning is still there. There's still things that you need to learn, but the fundamental foundation that is laid for basic skills is there. Imagine now going into this environment with any of the skills. Now let's talk about another reality, which is the job market. I consistently tell my students currently to get an internship or an externship, whatever it is, something practical before you graduate. And here is why. Back in the day, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when I was employed, most companies had overhead where they actually will send you through training. You get your first 2 weeks to go master some kind of a software, MicroStation, that was kind of in my case, or some CAD tools, right, for drawing. 2 weeks paid for. These days, most companies do not do that. You are expected to come into work knowing this, and the only way you're going to be able to do this is either through an internship or an externship, and that is the competition most of you currently face. So with AI, you're going to graduate relying completely on AI. You're going to be underperforming. Your first introduction to applied learning is going to be, first of all, you're going to be fortunate enough during your interview for somebody to say, oh, okay, I see, you got your degree using AI. I don't know if I already mentioned my disclaimer. I already have said I have nothing against AI, but we got to be very, very smart on how we use AI. The first thing I want everyone to remember is that AI is a tool and not a teacher. So when I started teaching 15 years ago, I had no idea that students could actually have access to solution manuals. Well, I guess I was living way in the past. So this is what I did, since there wasn't much that I could do with telling students not to use a solution manual. They're going to use it anyway. So I had to kind of incorporate that into my learning. So this is what I told the students. I told them, I said, I know. The solution manual is out there. You have it. You're going to use it. No matter what I tell you, you're going to use it. So this is my advice to you. Please use the solution manual to double check your work, meaning do the work, check it with the solution manual to see if it is correct. Because if you do that, I'm going to reward you on your exams, and that's exactly what I did. I will repeat homework problems on the exams, which means if you did the exams and if you did your homework without using a solution manual and you learned it and you applied it on the exams, that is your reward. You're going to know how to use it and you're going to get your points for that problem. Very similar to where we are with AI right now. If you use AI as a tool versus it being your sole teacher, then you are going to get that skill, or you're going to acquire that skill of applied learning. So we can use AI to enhance our learning. Brainstorming, reviewing concepts, even when it comes to the writing, use it as a draft. Don't let it be your final submission. And I already said this before, in case of plagiarism, if you're using AI, that means same thing. If you're coding something that's from AI, please state it as it coming from AI. But don't let the AI report, summary, whatever it is, be the final submission that you put in. Have a say at least in what you are presenting. And definitely, I'm going to suggest that you set boundaries with how you use the AI tool. Let's wrap it up. Relying solely on AI for a degree may save you some time now, but it's going to come at a cost. That's my first point. Real world demands understanding. The real world demands understanding. Industry, whatever you're going to go into, demands understanding, not just a credential. If that was the case, yes. If all we need is a diploma or a credential, there's different ways of actually doing that without AI. There's very easy ways to do that, but that's not what we need. Once again, we need applied learning. So I close with encouraging everyone to understand that AI is a tool. As a matter of fact, ask whatever AI tool you're using what AI is, and AI will tell you that it is a tool and not a teacher. That's all I wanted to share today as we continue with our AI discussion. College, again, is my focus. I hope your semester is going pretty good. Using AI is all there. Now there's hundreds, by the way, of AI tools out there. Anything you could think of, right? My wife and I were just talking about presentations. It's amazing what AI could do. Data analysis, Excel spreadsheets. It's amazing what it could do. What I encourage you to do is to know how to use it, and while you're doing that, know how to apply it. Stay tuned, please, next time on Let's Talk Ed with Professor Chris. Don't drink beer. I know football season is here. We're going to start tailgating. Don't drink beer, but my beer to you is to balance, eat well, exercise, and relax. I'll see you all next time on Let's Talk Ed with Professor Chris.
Welcome to Let's Talk Ed with Professor Chris. This is one of the best college podcasts where we continue to explore the big questions about education, careers, and the future. But most importantly, this is the show that is empowering minds one episode at a time. I am still your host, Professor Chris. The day is here. I am really excited to announce the best college self-guide book, Getting the Most Out of Your College Experience, is finally here. Why did I write this book? There is much need for this book, which completely addresses most of the challenges and concerns that college students face. The very first chapter talks about college or no college, the why, the what, the where, the when, and the how. The information about academics and resources you may not know about is covered in this book, topics of interest that play a major role in your college experience, friendly advice and suggestions that will help you handle challenges that you will encounter, personal stories about my own experiences and those of my students stories illustrating the challenges of college life drawn from my experience as a student advisor and mentor, picking the right major, the right opportunities, how you can make money in college, how to get money in college, financial aid, scholarships, dealing with loss, depression, suicide, relationships, international students, immigration, vets, entrepreneurship, life after college, and the list goes on and on and on. It's all covered in here. For any high school graduates, this is probably going to be the best gift they could ever get as they are preparing for college. It is also for the college freshmen and anyone planning on going, or especially those that are currently enrolled, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. This book is for every college student. This is the book that I wished I had before going to college. And it's also the book I hope I had while I was in college. Get a copy of Getting the Most Out of Your College Experience now. You can get it online at Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, iTunes, and Google Play. If you want a signed copy, you can go to my website at www.letustalked.com. Get your copy and let's continue to talk ed. Thank you.